are. So Tomac remains the man to beat, leading on 123 points, but Nicky has slashed the gap and now just 5 points behind on 108 points. Jack C slips to third on 86, with points right behind him on 84. And Mirko's Podium has launched him into the fight for the top 5 with 83 points. Further back, Muller Rider, Viper and Krytek are locked in their own scrap for the upper midfield, while Smokey's Podium has left him to 12th and building momentum. In the Constructor Championship, Mercedes will still lead with 177 points, but chase is on. Ferrari have closed in with 144 points and Williams leapfrog into third on 134 after a strong weekend. McLaren sit just 9 points further back. Hayes are climbing rapidly after Nick's win, and Red Bull, Aston Martin and Alpine are all within striking distance of the upper order. So as we head into round 7, the pressure is mounting, the championship fight is alive, the midfield battles are relentless, and every single lap tonight could prove decisive.
As you know that Nick here is currently not in the session, but it was between those two gentlemen last time, and there goes Merke. Merkel with a 1:14.804. Fastest man on track for now. The rest is all going into the pits. We got a Ferrari lining up. That was Arten, and Arten goes up to a P8 with a 1:16.542. Great lap for Martin there. As there's going Moomin Rider to a P5 with a 1:16.117. Was already in the top 10, but still improves his lap time. The kick Sauber off Tasman. Yeah, Tasman, you need to do something now, mate. You need to do something. With 4 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock. All eyes are now on Tasman, Zero Sniper and Ali Ali. Heading on to turn 12, sector 3, turn 13, turn 14, 15, 16 and 17. 17 corners. The Mexico Grand Prix is counting. And Smalley to a P14 with a 1:70.193. It goes one place back up. Arriving into sector 3 goes Daddy Cool. He gets there in the mid sector, he gets there purple, but I don't think that is true. Daddy Cool. Coming across the line goes Daddy Cool, and Daddy Cool goes from a P16 to a P14. Kicks Smalley back to a P15. And Smalley now on the elimination zone. We have then Tasman and the kick Sauber with a 1:18.587. Merkel. Oh, and he makes a big slide there. He makes a big slide there, but still puts the car on 1:14.876. My God. That is a replay I definitely want to see today after the race. So, Jaxi into the pits. Viper Gaming, we got no one else. The Adams invalidated once again. Adams. That is gonna be Arten. So we're staying with Arten for this out lap. And after those 4, we're going straight back to the front to P5 and 6, starting his out lap right now together with Viper Gaming to see what is going on there. But now it's waiting on Arten. Burning that battery down on the straights, heading into turn 1. There goes Arten, another long straight with DRS open. So Arten goes across the finish line. There goes Arten to a P6 with a 1:16.309. Well done from Arten, puts himself in the driver section for going through to qualifying 3 to get that Williams back in the top 10 spot. And there goes Jack C with a 1:15.998. So 2 McLarens, 2 Williams so far in the constructor fight in qualifying 2 to get the best results out of the race. The 2 McLarens taking out a spot from the Aston Martin drivers as we watch one time back to the qualifying 2 session. Mirko goes ahead with a 1:14.876. Garcia on a P2 with a 1:14.978. Smokey the Goon and the Williams with a 1:15.293. Tom Hacken on P4 with a Mercedes with a 1:15.445. Will Sponge in the Red Bull on P5 with a 1:15.522. Viper Gaming on P6 in Aston Martin with a 1:15.555. And Gennady and Advir, the 2 Dutchmans. McLaren and Red Bull on P7 and P8 with a 1:18.853 for Gennady. Turn 12, turn 13, turn 14, 15, and 16. Here we go. There goes Carsi across the line. Goes Carsi. Do apologize for the switch. 1:16.782. Jack C goes right below him with a 1:18.042. Well Sponge with a 1:76.62 on P3. Tom Hacken on P4 with a 1:76.62. I do rephrase back up to P5 with a 1:79.38. Tom Hackett. Jack C up to P6 with a 1:18.042. Moon Rider, the 2 McLarens, 1:18.077 and 1:18.491. Split by a half of a second. The 2 McLarens on P7 and P8. So guys, round 7 is about to kick off. Mirko is on top, followed by Carsi, the esports driver, or almost called an esports driver. This is gonna be very excited at the top of this Grand Prix. As Mirko is lining up himself, so is Carsi and Smokey the Goon, the Williams driver. Will Sponge, the Red Bull driver on P4. Looking at a spot in that top 3, but is he able to? First 3 cars are lined up on track, the rest is following soon. And now is waiting on Tasman and Cam McKenzie. Cam McKenzie joined the fight later, did not try any qualifying laps. So we'll start on P19 on the mediums. And here we go, back to the top, Mirko. The start of the Mexican Grand Prix, and here we go, it's lights out. Carsi on P2. Goes back to P3 as Smokey the Goon tries his luck today. Goes up to P2. Carsi back up to P2. Carsi and Mirko is now. Mirko the inside of the apex. Still managed to keep that car on P1. The Ferrari driver is now versus the Hayes driver Carsi 0111. Carsi looking at the back of Mirko. So is Will Sponge, so is Smokey the Goon and the rest of the field. But Carsi, oh, and there goes a late move from Smokey the Goon and Will Sponge. Well, Sponge ghosted for a moment. So we're watching now, currently at the side of Wells Sponge, of Tom Hackett I should say. Do apologize. Smokey the Goon back up to P5 together with a teammate on Jack C on P6. So the two Williams drivers on the top. So it's gonna be a very exciting to go see what is gonna happen here at front, as I tell. Classy sets the fast lap then when I want 18.319. Looking to get closer to Mirko as he does, now with US open. There goes the flap down and Classy up to P1 ahead of Mirko. Tom Hackett already 2.1 seconds on the back of Mirko. Smokey the Goon now Well Sponge. Well Sponge goes back up to the front. I do apologize for switching too late. Jack C up to P6. So best team performance for now is between the Williams guys and the Aston Martins. Aston Martins 5 seconds behind the McLarens, so will not do any much harm anymore and take the car of that haze. But now comes Carsey back again. Let me get those things back. Here comes Carsey. Carsey takes the inside line and there goes Carsey. An easy catch for Carsey today. And lap 7 of the Mexico Grand Prix, and up Carsey back up to the lead. Mirko will follow. So heading into the last corner, turn 17, on to the straights. Mirko and Carsey, the battle for P1 here in MCF1 round 7. Here we go. And there goes Mirko. Takes back that P1 spot, that pole position which belongs to him. He knows it and he will do everything this Grand Prix to keep that Ferrari on that P1 spot. But let's see if Carsey is thinking different about that. I'll give you an image of the time penalties currently standing as we watch Carsey and Mirko Carsey making his attempt but waits for the better of it. Now takes a better exit line. No, he doesn't. Both of the gentlemen slipping away on the rears as Mirko gets there a very big lag like last time. Needs to give up his position but is still in the fight for P1 as we watch Well Sponge and Tom Hackett also up into the fight. Tom Hackett takes the outside line, now the inside line and now the outside line again, and is up in front of Well Sponge. Watching back at the front, Mirko versus there goes Carsey. As I said, a two-step pit stop strategy. Oh, Carsey gets a 10-second time penalty for driving too hard into the pit lane, and this is gonna do Carsey so much hurt today. So Jack C reporting himself at the back of Viper Gaming. Viper Gaming currently with a 15-second time penalty. Jack C currently with a 3-second time penalty on P10. So easy catch. Jack C doesn't need to take any he doesn't need to take any risk right here now in lap 25 of 36. But need to make sure that when he's entering lap 30 of this Mexican Grand Prix, he needs to be ahead of Viper Gaming to make a chance to make an overtake attempt on the rest of the field with the 3 cars which you see up there in front of Viper Gaming, because those are valuable points today, especially for the 2 McLaren drivers. And Gennady is also still up in that fight. As we was talking, Gennady on the right, Viper Gaming making it a sandwich. No, he bails out. Viper Gaming with a 15-second time penalty. Knows that there's not much to fight them when you got those 9 seconds already on Ale. But trying to make the best out of it as the Aston Martin goes side to side. Viper Gaming taking the inside line of Crytek. Takes that P7 from Crytek. But do remember that Crytek does not have any time penalty standings today. As Kasi and Mirko switching positions. And now it's up to Kasi. As he is already 5 seconds clear of Mirko. Taking that McLaren to a solid P6 for now. Moonrider now reporting himself at the back of Crytek. Come on, Moonrider, this he can do. Taking the inside line now. P10 to P9 goes Moonrider. Pushes a bit right. White that Crytek there, and he has the Martin. With a well done from Moonrider. Well sponge on Jack C. Side to side. Look at this view, ladies and gentlemen. P7 and P8 fighting for positions heading into turn 1. Well sponge. Leaves Jack C right behind him. As we are still watching the fight from Gennady and Viper Gaming, but Wellsponge is reporting himself now at the back of Gennady, and there goes Wellsponge side to side to Gennady. Wellsponge taking that P5 from Gennady. Well done from Wellsponge, but still got a 9-second time penalty, and for 7 laps counting. Who knows what is gonna happen there. Back up to your leader of this Grand Prix, Kasi. 7.6 clears, but Mirko goes on top because Kasi has that 10-second time penalty. And this is a very sad for Kasi today, because he was great driving from Kasi on P2 today from the Hayes driver. But Mirko stands out today. Lost last race, the Grand Prix of the United States. By a mistake in strategy, by a team mistake you should say. According to F7 on Nicky, did go into the pits 1 lap earlier than Mirko. And in the tough conditions we had in the United States with those roughly rain it was given, Mirko didn't know anymore how to get the pace back on the inters, according to F7 on Nicky. But today it is Mirko that is your Grand Prix winner after 36 laps driven on the track of the Mexican Grand Prix. See this driver, Tom Hackett, still your leader in the Drivers Grand Prix, in the Drivers Championship, as you say. Do apologize. So Mirko on P1, Kasi on P2, Tom Hackett on P3, Gennady on P4, Wellsponge on P5 in the Red Bull, Moonrider on P6, Viper Gaming on P7, Jack C on P8, Smokey the Goon on P9, Ale on P10, Edvir on P11, Daddy Cool on P12, Cam McKenzie on P13, Crytek on P14. And I do believe that the rest did DNF. No, I do apologize, I'm wrong again. Zero Sniper on P15, Tasman on P16, and the rest of the drivers did DNF. And that was Smalley today, Adams today, and Arton today in the Ferrari. And with this, we end your Grand Prix round 7 of season 6 of the MSC F1 Fanatec Podium series. Tomorrow we are of course back with another racing drama